Campbell's Soups bring you Amos and Andy. Good evening, everyone. What are you going to do during the holidays? Whatever it is, I wish you good weather and a swell time. And for you ladies, here's a suggestion. Add one hot dish to those cold summer meals you're serving so frequently these days. Just see how it peps up appetites. Soup is excellent for this. Everyone likes good soup. It's soundly nourishing, and it can be ready in next to no time. Yes, cold meals taste even better when they begin with hot soup. It stimulates your appetite and makes your enjoyment of the cold dishes all the keener. Now, for one of the finest soups you can have in Campbell's tomato soup. Its bright, tempting look and delightful aroma make you downright hungry. It thrills you with the taste of luscious tomatoes enriched with table butter. So, begin cold meals frequently with Campbell's tomato soup. The Kingfish has appointed an executive committee which is charge of the manhunt for the members of the Mystic Knights of the Sea. Every member has promised to do everything possible to find Andrew Brown. As the scene opens now, we find the Kingfish, Henry Van Porter, and Lightning in the Kingfish's office, waiting for the other members of the committee to arrive. Lightning's short-eared bloodhound is asleep in the middle of the floor. Here they are.
Well, now, Brother Kingfish, what is the purpose of this meeting you was called here?
Yeah, well, I has appointed a few fellows on the executive committee to take charge of looking for Andy. And I got this meeting called here so that we can discuss some of the things about the reward money and stuff like that.
You think we'll ever find him?
Well, Amos has been out on a clue for 2 hours. He's working with the police now on something kind of mystery. I don't know what it is. He wouldn't even tell me what it was.
Well, now, Lightning, what success has you had with your dog?
Well, I tell you what I done. I took Sherlock over to the house where Miss Andy slid down the drain pipe, and I let him smell the drain pipe. I held him up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned him loose, and he went down the alley, and he ended up at the back door of a butcher's shop.
Yes, that's very interesting.
So I took him in the butcher shop, and I looked around, and I didn't see Miss Andy in there. But I couldn't get the dog out. He didn't want to leave.
Yeah, well, the dog wanted something to eat.
He might have known more than we think he knows.
Yeah.
Well, have you had any more cues with him?
Well, I took him back over to the room where Miss Andy lived, but the dog went to sleep in Miss Andy's bed again.
Well, Lightning, I don't know what good that's going to do.
I getting kind of discouraged with Sherlock here. The man guaranteed he was one of the best dogs in the world. But I think the man that sold him to me cheated me out of $1.10, tell you the truth.
Yes, I believe you're right. I don't think that he is a genuine bloodhound.
My wife say he's just a mutt. She won't let him come in the house no more.
Well, look at him now. He's sound asleep. Every time I see him, he's asleep.
Well, just like the man said, though, he saves his strength till something come up, and then he work 24 hours a day without closing his eyes.
If that dog stayed awake for a solid week without closing his eyes, he'd have his share of sleep, I think.
I went to see the man that sold him to me, and the man told me that he been giving the dog a vacation every year for the last 2 weeks in June. And maybe the dog thinks he's on his vacation.
Yeah, come in, Fred, come in.
Hello, Mr. Gwindale.
Hello there, everybody.
How, Miss Gwindale?
Have this seat here, my charming friend.
Well, whose dog is that?
My dog.
Is he sick?
No. He just natural that way, Fred.
Well, Fred, as you heard in the news.
No, I ain't heard nothing. I just wondered what y'all done heard about Andy.
Well, we haven't heard a thing.
No, he ain't heard nothing.
That's right. Amos is out on some idea that he ain't told us about. Something that happened yesterday.
You know, it was supposed to come to a head today, this thing that Amos working on.
Whose head?
Quiet, Lightning. Better get that dog out the middle of the floor before somebody step on his foot or something.
Yeah, here, Sherlock. Sherlock, well, I guess I better pick him up. I'll hold him in my lap here so I ain't gonna bust up the meeting or nothing.
Well, now, Brother Crawford was supposed to be here, but his wife phoned to say that she don't want him messed up in the thing.
Well, Kingfish, suppose you go ahead with the meeting.
All right.
Well, what is this all about, Brother Kingfish?
Well, gentlemen, this body of men now gathered in my office of the Mystic Knights of the Sea on Friday, June the 30th, 1939, appointed by the Kingfish in relative to Brother Andrew H. Brown, who has disappeared from the face of Harlem, or thereabouts. Brothers, the purpose of this small gathering, I will tell you in just a few words, and I hope that you brothers will stick with me.
Well, this is about Andy, ain't it?
Well, boys, the idea is this. I have give my life to building up one of the greatest lodges in the country, our great fraternity, the Mystic Knights of the Sea. I was the one that thought of the idea of calling the emergency meeting among our members.
Well, that's right. I was here.
I was the one that said that everybody possible and everything possible ought to be done as possible to find Andy.
Yes, I know you has been worried about him.
Now, I will say this. I was the one that thought of the idea of getting up the reward for the apprehend and return of our missing brother. I was the one that got the committee together to go out here and call on the merchants of our great community and get them to prescribe money for the safe return of Andy. I was the one. Look at Lightning. He done gone to sleep with the dog sleeping in his lap.
Well, you might as well let him sleep.
Yeah, well, what good is it doing sleep?
Well, what good is it doing awake?
Well, anyway, I was the one that got all this stuff going.
Well, it's going all right, so what you worried about?
Brothers, I am here to tell you that there is a certain fraction in the lodge here that's against me. Behind my back, a certain group of brothers with no brotherly love in their hearts has got up a petition that I will have nothing to do with the handling of the reward money.
Well, Brother Kingfish, if I was you, I wouldn't worry about that. Let somebody else have to worry about handling the money.
Yeah, but I think it's my duty to handle the money.
Well, now, Brother Kingfish, I don't know what we can do about that. The other committee come to see me about it. And they claim that your records is in such bad shape that by the time you got this reward money messed up with it, why, they wouldn't be able to tell nothing.
Yeah, well, I was the one to think of the idea for the reward, though. I ought to have the glory of handling the money. Now, this committee is trying to take the glory away from me.
Well, now, how would it be if the committee would let you be the chairman of the reward money without touching the money yourself?
Yeah, well, who ever hear of a chairman of the money committee that didn't finger some of the money?
Well, I don't know what we can do about it. I think the main thing is to find Andy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I think I hear somebody coming. Well, come in, Amos.
Hello, Amos. What is the news?
Hello there, everybody.
Hello, Amos. How is you?
Well, I just had a funny experience.
Yeah, well, what did you find out that thing that you had?
Yes, what was that, Amos?
Well, I'll tell you the whole story now. Last night I got a letter from somebody, and on the letter, a piece of cloth was pinned on there, and it was a letter from a man that said that he had Andy Brown, and for $100, he would return Andy.
Well, wait a minute.
Yes, what was the piece of cloth about?
Well, it was a piece of cloth from the suit that Andy had on.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Well, the man wanted to show that he really had Andy because he sent a piece of his cloth, you see, from the suit.
Yeah.
So I went to the police with it last night, and I told them about the thing, and they told me what to do. So I cut up some paper about the size of $10 bills, and I put them in the letter like the man told me to do. And he told me to go to a certain corner and stand on the corner, and for me to have a red flower in my coat and the letter in my hand.
Well, this is very unusual.
Well, I got a flower for my coat, and I got the letter with the paper in there. And I went to the corner like the police told me to do, and I stood there for about 30 minutes. And pretty soon a fella walked up to me, and he say, "Is that letter for me?" And I say, "Where's Andy?" The man say, "Give me the letter with the money in it, and I'll have him here on the corner in 10 minutes. So I give him the letter, and just then when I handed him the letter, about 5 detectives that was watching him closed in on him and got him.
Well, did you find Andy?
Well, they took the fella down to headquarters, and he's just a crank.
Oh, yeah.
Well, where did he get the piece of Andy's clothes?
Well, the police got him, started asking questions, and the fella admitted that when he read about it in the paper, he went over to see the drain pipe that Andy slid down, and sure enough, Andy must have torn his clothes going down because a little piece of Andy's suit was on the drain pipe, and that's where this fella got it. So, fellas, that was just another wild goose chase.
Well, that's too bad.
Tell you the truth, I think we might as well give up because I don't think we're ever going to find him.
I want to remind you again that Campbell's tomato soup makes cool, refreshing meals even more delicious. Only top-notch tomatoes, specially grown for luscious flavor, are used in making Campbell's tomato soup. Their natural taste is made even more delicious in the soup by skillful, delicate seasoning. Fine table butter is added to make the soup even richer. These are the reasons why Campbell's tomato soup is the best liked soup in the world. Why not serve it frequently and see how it makes cool, easily prepared meals taste ever so much better? Amos and Andy in person will return to you Monday at this same hour. This is Bill Hay speaking for Campbell's Tomato Soup, bidding you all good night.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.